Andy Good with the Good Life YouTube channel, and today we are learning how to make friction fit structures and how to incubate eggs at the 2025 Georgia Bushcraft Spring Campout.
I have to look, make sure which one I have. You're going to turn just like that. Bring your big end around this way. There you go. And go right there, right in between right there.
Here.
Yep. And just
come on up.
I found the top.
Just get right there.
Which I need. Alright, Brandon, come out with it.
Keep coming. Keep coming. Keep coming so they're about the same thickness. I'll come up with this one. That's probably good. That's probably good.
Yep, bring this one. Okay, let it come back. How far back so that's about right. That's good right
It's
there.
catching there, so this one's not.
Okay, I know, remember?
Yep.
Okay, so this is going to be our chair. What's missing? I have an issue. What is it?
The seating surface?
Nope, this is my issue.
Only one side's
This
got
one's
a bite on it.
friction, this one's not. So how do I fix that? Yep. All right. I don't like that one. Alright, let's see if I'm gonna hit the ground. There's my chair. I'm tired. I want to sit here. I'm short, so I can be a little kid. Swing my legs. But I want to lean back. And that's not going to be too comfortable. If I'm going to do something, I want it to have multiple uses. This one, you could take and use a wilderness clothespin, where you cut like a toggle, cut it in half, make it into a clothespin. You could take a toggle, wrap it up, maybe tie around it, whatever. Today, I have a Brandon to hold it for me. He's friction fit. And now I can lean back, sit here, chill out. Hang my lantern right there, do whatever. And all of this is made out of stuff that's out there, all except for the cloth. Why do I have the cloth and why do I have these so long and why is my husband so upset that I didn't cut these down? Get ready to show you. I feel like everything should be of multiple use. And if you're going to take the time to cut all this stuff down, you want to be able to use all this stuff for something. Good. The reason this cloth is this color is because we actually did use it as a smoker. Now I killed a squirrel where I caught some fish or whatever. I can take what I had as my cherry, turn it into a tripod, put my cloth on it, now I have a smoker. Nope, I don't like this way. Turn it. Yeah. Yeah, we're good. We're good. Tie off here. If you had a little bit longer, you can tie off there. There's your shelter, if need be.
It's actually sleeping it overnight.
What we did was we cut the end of a piece of wood, drilled the holes out, but they're drilled in at an angle. And the reason why it's drilled in an angle is you want to take whatever stick you're going to take and stick it in till you get that friction for that angle, and it's going to hold this up, and you're going to have like a footstool of a tripod. So you're going to have your 3, 3, and 3. The one in the middle is, say you've got this over your fire, you've got your tripod built, and you've got this over your fire. You take this, put a stick in it, hold it, hang your pot from right here. You do multiple V notches up through here depending on how high or how low you want to hang your pot. Do multiple L7 notches up through here, and you can keep changing this however you want it to, and it keeps fitting in, and it's all made with stuff off the loom. But it's using what you have available and how can you make it work for you. What can you do with it? What can you go out here without having to carry 2x2s, 4x4s, a pocket full of screws, a drill, a hammer, nails, this and that, without having to carry all that? What can you do out there with a knife and a saw? Because you're going to have a saw and a knife to make your mallet. Make your mallet. There you go. You got your mallet to do your pegs with. Your knife to cut your pegs with. The other thing about the pegs that I want to tell everybody, other than using a harder wood for what you're going into, you also want to make your pegs square to go into a round hole. Because when you get the friction part, as soon as you push it in square in a round hole, it's going to start your square is going to start, I don't know how to say it, breaking down to that whole size, breaking down to the roundness size, and that's where your friction comes into play.
run to rooster. Make sure your eggs are fertilized when you crack the egg. On the yolk, a fertilized egg is going to look like, there's going to be a little white spot on the yellow yolk, and it's going to look like a bullseye. It's going to be a really, really tiny spot, and it's going to look like a bullseye. A fertile one is going to look more like a solid white dot. A fertilized one is going to look like a bullseye, and you'll be able to see the round circle on the outside and the dot in the middle. And that's how you know your rooster's doing his job. You've got some fertilized eggs, and you're ready to put them in the incubator. Put them in the incubator. I like to plug in the incubator and let my incubator run for an hour or two. I like to make sure it's working properly and I've got all the settings on what I want them on before I put the eggs in, so I don't put them in and then my incubator like crap out on me or something. So I always like to make sure it's working how I want it to work, and then put the eggs in. And okay, right before you put your eggs in, you're going to want to make sure your incubator, that you look at the thermometer and the hygrometer. The hygrometer is going to show you the humidity inside your incubator. You want your thermometer to be right around 100 degrees. Anywhere from like 99 to 101, 102 is acceptable, but you want to have it right around that 100 mark. Like I think 100.4 is like the sweet spot, but you want to have it right around there. And put your eggs in, and you want the humidity to be, you're going to fill up your water tank and make sure that the right amount of water is getting into the bottom of the incubator, and you want the humidity to be right around 50%. 50 to 65 is fine. It doesn't have, there's no like magic number. You just want it to be like kind of at that happy medium while they're incubating. So you'll put your eggs in. It's going to be 21 days before they hatch. Some of these incubators have an automatic egg turner, and it will turn the eggs for you. And I love the automatic egg turners. They're awesome. Some incubators don't have automatic egg turners, and you have to open the incubator and just like horizontally turn the eggs over at least 3 times a day. And you want to keep the wider end of the egg up. You want to keep the pointy side down. At the wider end is the air sac, and that's where like the chick breathes. So you want to keep that slightly up. If your incubator has an option, some of them they just lay horizontally. So I like to also label mine. Like I usually go like alphabetically, A, B, C, D, E, F, G. But you can label them any way you want to, and you can put, some people just put an X on one side of the egg, and it just helps you keep up with like when it was last turned. And it just makes sure that your auto turner is turning the eggs, so they should look like they've been flipped every time you see them, and that'll help you know that your auto turner is working, or that'll remind you like, oh yeah, they were like X side up last time, and you turn them over. So they'll take 21 days. The day 1 through 18 is the incubating period. On day 18, you stop turning the eggs. That is the magic number for don't turn the eggs anymore. You want them to get settled, so get settled in their position so the chicks can get ready to hatch. And so they're just gonna kind of hang out in the same spot from day 18 through 20. And also on day 18, that's when you're gonna wanna bump up the humidity. The humidity inside the incubator, starting at day 18, you want to bump it up to 75%. So like right around that 75% mark is going to be where they're happy. Don't forget to add more water to your water holder at that time also, because you're going to want it to be more humid. If it looks too humid, like you're seeing condensation, like a lot of condensation on the incubator, you want to maybe crack it open for just a little while to bring the humidity down a little bit. Day 20, 21, they should start pipping, and what that means is their little beak, they will start making a tiny crack or a little hole in the egg on their own, and you don't want to help them. You want to be hands off as much as you possibly can. They'll pip, and so they'll crack their eggs and they'll make a little hole, and then once they pip, they'll start to zip around the egg where they make a crack, and they try to keep going around in a horizontal motion, and then they'll push out of their egg. And sometimes it can take up to 23 days, and it won't all happen on day 21. And you want to leave them alone as much as possible. Don't help them hatch. It can kill a baby chick.